Hey everybody, this is Giuseppe with Forget About It News, and I'm here with my boy Brian.
Hey, what's up, guys?
So tonight we got this little video, Brian. Tell us about this video, bro.
Honestly, I can't even really remember. I think the economy is taking the trash. We don't have to keep going over that. But
Yeah. I mean, it's in the shitter.
I honestly I can't remember.
Yeah, it's about Kamala Harris. It's about the let's forget about it. Let's get it going.
Just throw it up there.
What's up, guys? John here. Former President Donald Trump's trial has just been delayed until November 26th, 2 days after Thanksgiving.
Judge Juan Merchan has ruled on Trump's request to delay the.
Now listen.
Well, Trump requested that.
I know he requested that, but I think that's bad on his part.
I don't know. I don't know. He granted it, and they're saying not until after November. The fact that they're doing that worries me. Like, if they didn't know they were going to win, it's like, damn, they would have probably put him in jail.
Well, I think they're just trying to have like some ace cards. I think they're trying to wait and see what's going to happen with the election.
I don't know.
They want Trump to be a felon. They don't want Trump going to court, beating any cases, having something thrown out. They're going to try to drag this shit out. They're going to try to drag this shit out through the election.
Yeah, but it's his sentencing, so it's not another.
Well,
it's to sentence him.
Well, I understand.
So they push
that.
the sentencing back. So instead of but think about that. That's pretty bold of them when they can go, bam, lock his ass up in September and make it look even more horrible before the election.
Because
maybe they calculated it would look way worse if they did that. They probably did.
Yeah.
But he granted his request, Bo. Who knows? You're right. It could be like, sure, I'll do this because we have something else for you.
Yeah. I don't
sure,
know.
we'll grant that.
They just want him to look as bad as possible.
I know, man. Dude, it's not so obvious. Like, people, hey, for Democrats or...
We'll see.
It's so obvious.
Well, here's the thing. Democrats can still go online. Not even Democrats. Anybody who don't like Donald Trump can go online and badmouth him and say, hey, you know what? He hasn't been sentenced yet. He's probably going to get 20 years. And I know. But if he gets sentenced and it's like, we're going to give him 5 years suspended, or something stupid like that.
Right. And that makes him look silly.
Yeah. It makes him look silly.
Probably because if they put him in jail, he would immediately go to the appellate court and they'll say, you can't do this. Yeah. And they'll throw it down and he'll get out in a couple of days anyway.
And they'll look like a bunch
because
of
they really can't do it.
But now they can sit there and make all these assumptions.
Yeah,
and stuff.
that's what it is.
They're going to give him 20 years.
Hey, they pushed it back.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though.
He's still facing 30 over here.
But still remember, though, it was at Donald Trump's request. He said, I want to extend it, and he granted it. So let's stay there. Let's
forget about it.
Forget about all that.
Sentencing.
Judge Juan Merchan is postponing the former president's sentencing until November 26th.
Now, when you look at what's unfolding right now in the world, inside of the economy, and you look at what these billionaires are warning and what they're doing, it's quite concerning. Could we see a scenario, possibly, like Ray Dalio has referred to over the last several years? He's issued statements since 2022 about a civil war, saying it's very likely. Even a movie that recently came out about it.
Let me know if you want to try anything on.
I guess aware there's like a pretty huge civil war going on all across America.
And then he issued the statement again just a few months ago in May, saying that it's more than a 30% chance of a civil war.
Billionaire investor Ray Dalio believes that there's more than a 1 in 3 chance of a second American Civil War breaking out.
The U.S. has a 30% chance of devolving into a civil war.
Could you imagine a scenario where, say, the election happens early November, and
that 30% chance, they if they do it, they're going to do something to set it off.
Well, listen, what people don't understand is the billionaire people are the ones pulling the strings.
Yeah.
And so
we don't need to fight each other.
They know what's happening.
Yeah.
And a lot of this is on purpose.
All of it is on purpose. I guarantee every single thing they do is on purpose.
And they're telling us there's a 30% chance because they don't want you to panic. Because if they said 90, you'd fucking panic.
Yeah, most people would probably panic immediately.
So they say 30 to put the thought in your head. So when it happens, you're not surprised. But you didn't prepare for it because they didn't go over the severity and the possibilities of it. They said, it's only 30%. But really, they know it's going to fucking happen. But they're just putting that little thought, that little piece of information in their head.
I think they're going to just make it happen. They're going to do something, like I said. They put all these catalysts together, right? It's like this, guys. They just put all this garbage together, and they just interject something to get something to pop off. And then before you know it, the citizens are warning each other when they've done this to us. So
it's a bunch of baloney.
I don't know, guys. We need to really pay attention. I'm telling you right now.
You gotta be woke of the woke.
Yeah, you need to understand. Like, this is not like some little fairy tale and we're watching a movie. When they go full commie on you, when Harrison Waltz get in there, the United States will never ever be the same again. You will never see it the same again. It'll literally disintegrate.
Those three billionaires that they showed.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Gates, Zuckerberg, and this other jabron.
I can't.
Right?
Like, Bill Gates is such a weirdo.
Well, here's
He's
the
a
thing.
diabolical evil.
Bill Gates has been selling shares of his stocks.
Oh, hell yeah!
He's been dumping his stocks, getting that money.
Right.
There's rumors about Zuckerberg building some underground bunker.
Isn't that funny? He just admitted. Y'all know he just admitted that the FBI and everything told him to censor shit, right?
To Trump.
So for all you those that didn't believe that the government was doing that, fucking there you go.
Forget about it.
The man himself came out and said it. You want to know why? Because it's too heavy on his conscience, and he's knowing that shit's probably going to get scary, and he's starting to think about other shit now.
So you have
I don't know.
You have Zuckerberg building a bunker underground. You got Bill Gates selling off his stocks.
They all got them
and then you got this jabroni.
They're not still building.
Saying
they
the Civil
got
War's
already.
coming. Listen, until I have facts on it, I can't say. 100%.
Yeah, I bet they already have.
But all I'm saying is, it's not a coincidence that Bill Gates is selling his stock. This guy's saying a Civil War's coming, and Mark Zuckerberg's got an underground bunker. I mean, let's not be naive here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't have to be naive at all.
Let's roll the bean footage.
All right, go ahead.
And Donald Trump wins the election. And then a few weeks later, we walk into a situation where he's found guilty of all charges or some charges. Could you imagine what would likely happen inside of America? It would probably be a pretty nasty scenario. Hopefully we don't see, that chain of events unfold. But when you look at what these billionaires are doing, they're preparing for a black swan. They're preparing for some major event that could happen. Ray Dalio issued a warning 3 years ago saying that he sees America's decline will upend lives, not just portfolios. Ray Dalio says America's decline will upend lives, not just portfolios. The billionaire investor who built the world's largest hedge fund.
In 1992, when Ross Perot ran for president, the debt was about $4 trillion. It has now surpassed $35 trillion.
Interest rates have got to go up, or what?
Wow, Ross Perot. So I was a kid when Ross Perot was running for president.
Oh yeah.
Okay. It was back in the day. Back in the day. Al Gore, I think Ross Perot ran against Al Gore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100%, but it was either he ran against Al Gore or he ran against Clinton, and Clinton beat him, and he got in. I think that's how it happened. I think he ran against Clinton. I'm not 100%, but $4 trillion. So from there to now, we're at 35 fucking trillion.
Yeah, that's only been 20 years?
Get about it.
Man, that's unstoppable,
crazy.
Dude. That's unstoppable.
Brian,
People of America.
It's not reversible.
What are we going to do?
35 trillion is not reversible.
Oh, and by the way,
I don't care what side of the gate you're on.
Listen, if they smash the system and they get y'all on central bank digital currency, which they already have ready to roll out, it's not in development. It's already ready to go.
Yeah.
It's ready to go. I don't have all the articles and facts on that, but listen, you know how they already trade Bitcoin. Trust me, the United States has an underground system already set up along the banking system with digital currency. They've been monitoring how it all works. They've already built their own.
Yeah, they've been watching.
They've
Bitcoin.
been watching it. Everything.
They've been watching Bitcoin.
You don't think
see how it moves?
You don't think the military's had massive hackers just go into there and see how the whole system works and set it up? Anyway, the fact is, look, if you go to that, your ass is in prison. Yeah. You won't be able to do anything.
Nah, roll the bean footage.
What they do is they have to print money.
So this isn't some fly-by-night guy. He built the largest hedge fund in the world. He's saying that America is going, it's going down, right? It's going in a bad direction. He's saying that there's more than a 30% chance of a civil war, right? What do you think is likely going to happen? Well, I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen in this video, because when you look at what central banks are doing, they're buying tons of gold.
Recently, a lot of the central banks in the world have been buying gold. They've been buying more gold now in the last 12 months than probably any time since the early 70s.
You look at what these billionaires are doing, they're buying farmland. Why? Because it's a hedge against inflation, and it's a hedge for safety. That's what it is. You look at what Warren Buffett's doing, he's unloading stock. I mean, he's selling tons of Apple stock.
Berkshire sold another 115 million shares of Apple in this last quarter.
He's selling, it seems like, stock every single day at Bank of America.
Warren Buffett's selling spree of Bank of America continues with an unloading of an additional 24.7 million shares.
All of these billionaires are doing something, and they're all doing it together. It's selling. They're trying to dump and unload their shares before, big storm. If you look at the yield curve.
Yeah. I was just talking to you about this, Brian.
Yeah, you were. You just talked to me about that.
I was literally just talking to you about it over the phone at night, and I said, these guys are slowly dumping their stock because if they dump it all at once, it'll put people in a panic.
Oh, well, not only that, it'll crash the market.
Yes. So they're slowly just doing it. And everybody else's stocks are going down, and they got their 100,000, they're 500,000, they're 300,000 in it. And they're like, okay, well, if we don't sell it and it turns around, we'll get our money back. And they leave it in there. And these guys just keep dumping slowly. And that number just keeps dropping, and the people start freaking out. And by the time they realize they should have pulled their money out, it's too fucking late. Those guys have all their money out, and those 100,000, 200,000, $500,000 little investments people had for retirement's fucking gone.
Yeah, gone.
Adios, amigo.
Listen, after the 401ks vaporize, your credit cards vaporize, the money in your savings vaporizes, the gold you had that now you got to sell because you need to buy shit. All after you pawn everything, after you sell everything in the garage and everything, here it comes, man. Mass poverty after that. That's why it's so freaky.
It's this is real. This is real, and
I don't know how we even got here this fast, dude. It was like overnight. I think COVID did it.
Real immigrants from real bad places.
20 million
will not vote for this. Any law-abiding immigrant that come into this country to take care of their family would not vote for Kamala because they left a country
that's like that.
That is like that. They fled that.
Right.
They fled that. They're not going to turn around and vote for somebody who's going to do the same thing here. Yeah. Now they're taking advantage of the situation to get in. But no smart immigrant is gonna vote for that.
No smart immigrant. No, not at all. It's horrible.
It is. All right, roll the bean footage.
You start to look at what's actually happening structurally in the economy, you'll see very, very clearly we're walking into a very big problem. In this video, I'm going to break it down and show you. Please hit the like button, people share the content, educate more people about what's unfolding in America.
What this
and today's video
saying.
is sponsored by Gold Mining Inc., stock ticker GLDG. But more on that in just a little bit. Take a look at this. So, central bank gold buying has reached record levels in 2024, driven by countries seeking to reduce reliance on the dollar. The Federal Reserve balance sheet is still 680% higher than pre-2008 crisis, despite a 20% reduction since 2022. Unreal. You have gold is outperforming tech stocks this year, and investors should keep buying, Bank of America says. This came out about a week ago, August 23rd. It says investors should buy gold even as the metal hovers around record highs, according to Bank of America investment strategist. In a note on Thursday, Harnett said investors should do what central banks are doing, buy gold. That's because interest rate cuts from the Federal Reserve in the coming months pose a risk to stoking a rebound in inflation next year, Harnett said. And real assets like gold have historically performed well during bouts of inflation. Harnett's comments come amid a record rally in the precious metals with gold prices.
What do you think of that?
I mean, look. If the dollar diminishes and then all you have is gold, bro, honestly, you can give me gold or you can give me probably a bunch of bullets. I'm probably going to rather take them bullets, man.
Yeah, man.
I don't really care about that. What the fuck am I going to do with that gold?
Yeah.
Shear it off for each other? Maybe that is the treasure, bro. Well, maybe people will trade for that.
Well, when the economy stabilizes, but it's going to go through a period of time of chaos where people aren't going to be what are you going to do? You're going to take a $10,000 gold piece and trade it for top ramen and some.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, no, you'd have to chisel some off. And then you'd have to figure out how much to chisel off.
Absolutely.
How much is that worth?
How much is it? And then you're gonna get into a fight with somebody. They're gonna kill you
and then take your gold.
Take your fucking gold.
Yeah. So I don't really know.
It's not gonna be that simple.
No, it's not.
Okay. Mm-mm. Because when things get crazy, it's gonna be chaotic. And a lot of things are going to happen. And I'm not going to sit here and try to come up with theories. But
man,
a lot of stuff's going to happen, and people are going to have to overcome it, and people will die, whether it's from people or just from not being able to get medical attention because hospitals are going to be overwhelmed or shut down because of what's going on. It's going to get crazy.
Who knows what
a lot of kids will probably get kidnapped, and a lot of kids will probably die in the process of all this. It's going to be bad. Let's keep rolling the bean footage.
It's surging about 20% year to date, outpacing the gains of the S&P 500 by a few percentage points and outperforming technology stocks. So you have this unfolding right now inside of gold. Then you have the S&P 500 tumbles. This happened about an hour ago. Post the worst week since 2023. NASDAQ drops 2% for the worst weekly performance since 2022. The S&P 500 dropped Friday, notching its worst week since March 2023, as investors assess the fallout from a weak August jobs report and ditched leading tech stocks. I mean, this is what's happening in the stock market right now. Breaking, the S&P 500 has now raised $2.2 trillion in market cap in the first week of September. Now, you look at the yield curve. We're basically at 1929 level.
1929, the Great Depression.
Yeah, he said, look at the curve.
We're at the 1929 level, the Great Depression. Listen, I remember hearing stories. From some OGs, and they told me during the Great Depression in New York, people were jumping out of the buildings, and you were walking down the road, and bodies were hitting the ground as you were walking down the street. People just jumping out of the buildings and committing suicide and hitting the sidewalks. Blip, while you're walking down the road, just killing themselves because of the Great Depression. I mean, this is a real thing. And Americans just sit back and just don't think that this is a real thing that's going to be happening. And this ain't no bullshit, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming down the pike, bro. Yeah, I can't afford barely anything. Can you? My buddy's got all the shit up for sale that he owns. He's got like 2 cars. He sold his airplane, got a whole bunch of others. I mean, things are slow. Yeah. It's just really weird. And then some weeks I'll have a good week. Yeah. But then it's slow for too long.
Well, it drags because it's the collapse process.
Yeah.
It's a slow. Well, because what happens is the government tries to do little things to
stimulate it,
to keep it going a little bit, like how they're giving all this money,
FHA
loans, trying to keep the
housing market.
Yeah,
going.
So all these people are buying these way the fuck overpriced homes with high interest rates, and they're taking taxpayers' dollars to help these people get them because they know they're going to lose them, and then big guys like BlackRock, who fucking lobby all these politicians, are going to come back in and buy those bitches.
All of them.
Buy all
Millions
of them.
of them.
Vanguard, BlackRock.
And then when they buy them, they're going to say, oh, we're renting them to you now. Yep. Now you don't get to own a house.
Here you go.
Y'all, it's going to be nothing but rentals. I don't want to live in that world, y'all.
Oh,
Let's not let them do that,
man. Forget about it.
Right now, 1929 levels. You look at this again. Like the yield curve inversion is worse than 1929 and 2008. Buckle up. Now, when Warren Buffett, this is 3 days ago, he dumped $6.2 billion in Bank of America stock. Then, yesterday, $7 billion in Bank of America stock. Then, today, he continues to dump more and more and more Bank of America stock. Why? Why is he betting against Bank of America? Because if he's not buying, he's selling. If he's selling, obviously he's betting against it. So when you have somebody like Warren Buffett who says, never bet against America. Never bet against America. In December, he bet against America by selling $27 billion worth of stock through Berkshire Hathaway. He sold tons of Apple stock.
Dude, honestly.
They know it's about to fucking happen.
Yeah, but listen to me. That dude is old. This is why it's weird. Listen, that dude is super old. He's worth like $50 billion something dollars, dude. And like, he's only got about 10 years left to probably really spend it. Who gives a shit? If he wants to dump all that stock, I would too.
No, listen,
but it's like,
that's not.
It's like, what do you do to the end? Do you like make sure that you're got 50 billion and then you croak?
No, listen. People like that have other people coming behind them.
Yeah, I know.
To take the spot.
Yeah, they do.
You know,
that's crazy.
Like
Donald
Trump's dad was doing things before Donald Trump.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
he kind of helped Donald get his start.
Yeah.
And,
well, that's what the families did anyway.
No, absolutely.
That's the normal thing. So,
absolutely,
yeah,
but they just do it on a much bigger scale.
Yeah, you're right.
You know,
that's
it's like George Bush Senior, then George Bush Jr.
Yeah,
You know?
they got somebody lined up, but still, damn. Yeah, I guess he's. I mean, dude, could you imagine, dude? Do you know how much 7 billion? That's 900 million 7 times.
Listen,
that's an incredible amount of wealth.
He's dumping his stock, and I'll tell you why. These banks have all this money tied up in commercial construction
real estate,
and real estate.
Yeah.
And when everything tanks, their stocks are going to be worthless. And so the reason why he's selling off his bank stock, he may put it in something else, but he's taking it out of there because all banks are going to fucking go down. That's when they're going to push this whole digital currency thing. They have to get it to happen. So one day you're going to fucking wake up and you're not going to be able to get the money out of your bank account.
Probably not.
That's what's going to happen.
Hey, listen, that shit happened in California early this year when those big tech banks went down and they couldn't even get money out.
When that one little weasel fucking guy. That one little weasel. Yeah, I mean, it's a real thing. Like, people act like when we say this shit that, oh, that shit's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. What do you mean? It's already fucking happened.
It's already happened.
It's already happened.
It just hasn't happened on a large scale. But
why
it's going
can't
to? Why can't it?
Listen,
yeah, there's nothing that says it can't. I don't know, guys.
When you have a bunch of apples growing on the
there.
tree, when you have a bunch of apples growing on the tree, you always have a couple die off first. And then if you don't pick the crop, the rest of them fall off too.
Yeah.
And it's a domino thing. The one that happened in California.
We're seeing dominoes everywhere
it's gonna
already, man.
Everything's closing. Tropical smoothie down the road. I mean, everything's just.
I know. We have
it's
another one.
bad.
I know. Dude, there's like been 6 restaurants closing. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. We're going to play a couple more minutes of this and that's it.
Recently. So when you have him unloading shares, what are the odds that there's significant upside in front of us? Probably pretty slim, right? Especially given his track record. And then you consider that Jeff Bezos sold tons of stock. You have Elon Musk selling tons of stock. Leon Black, Jamie Dimon, the CEO of the world's largest bank. You have the Walmart family. They sold $11 billion in stock that month, just that month. Zuckerberg, he sold shares of his company every day in November, December last year. Every single day. Sold 128 million shares to collect $428 million. Now the big question is, why would they sell these shares? Because if they wanted 500 million, maybe they wanted to buy maybe wanted to buy that $300 million yacht, and he needed 300 million, he could have easily taken out a line of credit against his stock. Easily. There'd be a ton of lenders that would love to lend him that money and use the stock as collateral. The reason he wouldn't do that is because if the stock market crashed, he can get margin called and be forced to sell off stock at a much lower valuation. So we prefer to sell, especially as stocks have went up 100, 200, 300% over the last 5-6 years, depending on the company, right? So when you have these major spikes in valuation, they're pulling risk off the table. But it's a lot more than just pulling risk off the table, because you look at the chain of events unfolding in the world, it's shocking. Remember just a month ago when it was Taiwan, South Korea, it was the US, it was Japan. All of these markets were crashing down and these exchanges essentially just halted. People weren't able to buy and sell all at the same time. Within a few days, it was basically forgotten. Remember that?
Yeah.
Well, remember a little while ago as the Mpox, everyone was talking about that. That was going to be the big thing. And then it was for a day or 2 days, 3 days. Then it was pulled back, right? And then you start to look at all these different things. You don't know what the thing's going to be. You just don't, right? They say here, this came out, I don't know, an hour ago, 2 hours ago, 262,000 views. And they're saying that the United States resumed mandatory reporting of this. Almost 300,000 views now. Mandatory reporting. Is it going to be a scenario where, this could come back, right? I'm not really sure. No one really is. But when you look at what these billionaires are doing, they're getting ready for a storm. They're buying things that are going to hold value. They're investing to not really get a return on their money, to get a return of their money. That's what they're looking for. They're looking to invest into safe haven
instead
assets.
of stock form. They want it in tangible items.
Yes.
They want it like a giant farm.
Land.
They want land that's $100 million for probably 50,000 acres.
Where you own fucking a quarter of Nebraska.
Yeah, it is.
Seriously.
I know, seriously, yeah. They buy pieces of land for $300 million.
And then when everything fucking crashes, the land will still hold value.
Right. all the way.
And then what'll happen is they'll start selling some of that land off when the economy turns around
for whatever they want,
and then take back advantage of the situation and capitalize on our suffering some more.
They might turn it into some giant crazy development and it becomes worth $5 billion.
I'm not even going to play any more of this. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
But listen, this is what you're going to get. Oh. Did I just remove us?
Yep.
I did remove us, didn't I? Forget
It's
about
all right.
it. Here,
we'll just like, share, and subscribe it.
Hey, look at that. Hey, we're back in action, baby. Look at this. Hey, listen. This is when you know you have inexperienced people doing this shit. We're just regular Joe Blows. And here we are in the midst of a crisis going on. We decided to start making freaking videos. Look at that. Bada bang, we're back in it.
Right.
Forget about
Get in the comments, guys. What do you think about this? Are y'all broke? Do you think we're fixing to be getting into crazy times? Because it's just this. Man, it seems like every day I go in there is some bullshit going down. Remember when we were little, we used to be some news here and there, and it wasn't even that big a deal. And
this is big. This is the biggest shit.
No, man.
Listen, this is the biggest shit
going on.
They are. Listen, we need to prepare. Hop into comments. Let us know what you think.
Yep.
Do you think something's coming? I mean, look at all these billionaires selling their stuff. They're not selling it for nothing.
No, they're not selling it for nothing.
So what's your opinion on this? Like, share, subscribe, hop into comments. And listen, we appreciate you guys watching our videos, and forget about it.
See y'all.